Hi viewers, we are going to learn the lesson Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was born on 18th July 1918. Hearing the elders' stories of his ancestors during the wars of resistance, he dreamed of making his own contribution to the freedom struggle of his people. Mandela joined the African National Congress in 1944. While facing the death penalty, his words to the court became immortalized. The words being, I have fought against the white domination and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. This chapter has been taken from Nelson Mandela's book, Long Walk to Freedom. It gives us the glimpse of the early life of Nelson Mandela, his education, 30 years in prison, and the pains and sufferings he had in his young age. Nelson Mandela is the first black president of South Africa who fought for the equal rights of the blacks. He suffered a lot of pain for the freedom. Zinani, the daughter of Nelson Mandela, who accompanied Mandela in his inauguration day, was very close to him. Thabo, the first deputy president of South Africa, was also close to Mandela. Mr. de Klerk is the second deputy president of South Africa. A Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela is all about the struggle of freedom of South Africa. On May 10, 1994, Nelson Mandela has taken the vow as the first black president of South Africa. And therefore, it was becoming a newborn democratic country. Nelson Mandela took the oath as the first black president. Many dignitaries from different countries had come to be a part of the most significant day. In his speech, Mandela thanked all those dignitaries. Mandela assured his countrymen that his country would never ever experience the same suppression of one by another. Democracy had been established in South Africa, and as a result, a government of no discrimination was established. The people of South Africa sang two national anthems as a symbol of that day. Mandela recalled that the reason for this movement was that black-skinned people were exploited by the white people. He said that this type of suppression of people of South Africa is the origin of many stars. People must learn to hate first because if they hate, then they can be taught to love, as love comes from the opposite circumstances. He also says that a brave man is not that who does not feel afraid, but who conquers it. In life, a man has two major obligations. First one being more responsible towards his family, to his parents, to his wife and children, and the second being towards his country, people, and the community. Everyone fulfills his duty as per his inclination and interest. But it was very tough to fulfill in a country like South Africa. When Mandela became an adult, then he understood that his freedom was only an illusion. In fact, he was a slave of exploitation. He also understood that not only he was a slave, but his other family members were also. According to him, freedom is also mandatory for them who were suppressing others in the past. They also have the right to have it because snatcher of others' freedom is a prisoner of the same. Thus, the oppressor is as much a prisoner as the oppressed. The oppressor too is not free. Nelson Mandela swears in as the first black president of South Africa on 10th May 1994. The swearing-in ceremony took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheatre in Pretoria. He addressed the rainbow gathering with a zest, telling that never, never and never again should it be that the beautiful land would experience the oppression of one by another. He wished that freedom in Africa should hold royal office. The army officials who put him in jail before were saluting him to pay respect to the newly born democracy. The two national anthems were sung at the time of his swearing-in ceremony. He recalls back the history and pays homage to the national martyrs who sacrificed their lives for the sake of their motherland. He tells that the martyrs were the men of extraordinary courage and wisdom and generosity. The country of South Africa is rich in minerals and gems, but the greatest wealth of country is its people. He tells no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. If people learn to hate, they can be taught to love too. He talks that man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never exhausted. He talks about the twin obligations, obligation towards his family and obligation towards his nation. While discharging his duties, he found he was not free. Hence, he joined the African National Congress, fought for the freedom of his country. He knew that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. The oppressor and the oppressed are alike robbed of their humanity. Viewers, the value we learn from this lesson is freedom is more important than even bread and butter. We must fight against slavery in any form. Enslaved persons cannot live a dignified life. We should not hate even those who oppress us. The oppressed and the oppressor are robbed of their humanity. The brave man is not the one who does not feel afraid, but he is the one who conquers that fear. Mandela said that every man has his duties towards his country and the community too.